There is nothing more that men crave than to bask and be submerged in the feminine energy.
What?
What?
Oh, hell no!
Thank you for being so dumb.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sheep Get Sheared podcast. I'm your host, Austin Creed. My friends, I want to welcome you into the show, and we're going to be returning to the conversation about relationships. And, my friends, I've mentioned what we're going to discuss before, but we're going to go into it in deep detail. There's a term that's thrown around quite a bit, whether it's on social media, and it's started in a subgroup in the United States and in the world, and now it's slowly adjusted into the mainstream. You might be already confused and have no idea what I'm talking about. The overall theme of this show today is avoiding the partner trap. In other words, you want to avoid people who refer to you as a partner. You want to know why I say that? Don't worry, we'll get into it as the show progresses. But the number one reason why, and I'll give you the number one reason up front, because I'm not a views whore, I'll tell you right up front. The one reason why you should avoid it as a man is you will not have respect. Your woman will not respect you. Now, before we get into the videos, I want to give you all a little bit of a history lesson. Very brief, I promise, for those of you who hate history. But if you look at history, the term partner stems from the subculture that is now in the mainstream, which is referred to as the alphabet army, or more colloquially as the LGBTQ plus community. Now, it was the homosexuals amongst us who started to use the term partner going back a long time in this country and around the world. This is a term that was used. They didn't usually use the word husband, wife, boyfriend, or whatever because it wasn't socially accepted like it is now, so they would just use the term partner instead. It was more subliminal and it could mean anything, and the meaning was inferred to those who knew, and to those who didn't know, they would assume none the wiser. Now, we look at the modern culture of now, and we have heterosexual relationships now using the same term, except, here's the issue. You look at the history of the world. I don't care if you want to use Greece, Rome, Egypt, China, Russia, you can use any civilization. Name me one civilization where the term partner would have worked. Name me one place in the world today where you would see such a dynamic play out that we see today and see a striving, thriving civilization. The answer is nowhere, because women are like cats and men are like dogs. And what I mean by that is women are like cats, and they start off as little kittens, right? Who like to, they're cute, they lap up the milk, they're beautiful, they're cute, whatever. And then they start to get their claws, they start drawing blood, usually from the hand that feeds them. In this case, that would be you, the man, because that's where the term bringing home the bacon comes from. That's why men are usually the protectors and the providers, because the men have a natural desire to protect the women. Whereas now, we don't live in a society where that works, because you can't protect yourself from the woman, because you have no protection. The one person who needs the most protection, meaning you, has no protection. Now, I say that men are dogs, not to put them down, because dogs tend to be more pack animals, looking out for each other and having a social hierarchy. And they tend to be more loyal. Men tend to be more loyal than women. Oh, I know, they're never going to accept that because they're used to dealing with Chad and Tyrone, who don't have to be loyal because they have all the options. The average guy can't cheat. Not that he doesn't want to, but he can't. He can't even get a girlfriend at all. I know a lot of people, they hate to hear that, but it's the truth. I don't care how many people on Twitter tell me I don't know what I'm talking about because I didn't meet the Chad they went out with, or I didn't encounter the Pookie that they were with. I'm sick and tired of it. Well, here's what we're going to do, my friends. We're going to go and we are going to explore some videos that are going to explore the very topic that we are talking about right now. And so, without
You wanna
further
know
ado, I'm going to let this woman talk, and we're going to break this video down about
women
what it
really
is we
want?
want. So here we go. Let's see what she has to say. And feel free to leave your thoughts in your comments below about how you've navigated relationships, and if you've ever fallen for this trap of being a power couple or being in an equal partnership, you know, that big lie that is pushed today, mainly by women who are over the age of 30. Let's see it. Let's see what she has to say.
You want to know what women really want in a relationship?
Enlighten us.
Which in turn then gives the men what they crave? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you the best analogy I have ever heard in my life,
Oh, this will be good. Oh, this will be good.
referring to the dynamics of a relationship between a man and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes a little something like this.
Uh-huh.
I call it the flag and pole analogy. You're going to want to stick around for this one. It's a goodie. So in this analogy, the man is the pole. He stands tall. He's strong. He's reliable. He's predictable. He is grounded.
Notice she didn't use the words attractive, erotic, respecting. Notice she lacked all of those terms that we actually care about, but continue.
The woman in this analogy is the flag, and she's beautiful in all of her colors.
Most women are mid. They're actually not that beautiful, contrary to what all the simps on the internet will say, but okay, this analogy is already off to a great point. In other words, it's the man who props up the woman. I doubt she'll bring that up, because without a flagpole, a flag is just on the ground getting stomped on, but okay, I doubt she'll bring that up. Oh boy.
What?
Alright, what else?
She is blowing in the wind in whichever direction it takes her in all of her fabulous feminine delight. She is giddy and almost looks like she's dancing in that wind. Sometimes she's down, and sometimes she's flying high in all of her vibrant, beautiful self. When the flag and the pole come together, they represent something bigger than themselves. There is nothing more that men crave than to bask and be submerged in the feminine energy.
What?
What? Oh, hell no!
Thank you for being so dumb.
What is that, bro? Oh my, I did not see that coming. See that coming. Oh man. What? This can't be real. Guys, am I tripping? Am I the only one who finds this hysterically hilarious for all the wrong reasons? Oh my, no freaking way. Send it! It's actually more like the women want to have basically a dad that takes care of them. That's more accurate. But okay, let's continue with this amazing analogy.
It is nurturing. It is soft. It is sweet.
Nurturing. Oh, goodness. This is so much better than I thought it was gonna be. I haven't laughed like this in a minute. Oh, God. Hey, you know what? I said at one point that women weren't funny. You know what? I've been proven wrong. This is probably the funniest woman I've ever seen on the internet in my life.
It is also brave and can be wild and unpredictable.
Men don't like unpredictability. Men like stability. You're not selling us on this vision you have, by the way. This is not... Is anybody sold yet? Anybody ready to give up going their own way yet? Anybody ready to get the copy of Biblical Bachelor by yours truly and to burn it because it's no longer relevant? Oh, man.
The giddiness of her laugh and the melting in her eyes when she looks at him.
Why does this woman sound like she's gay? Like, she cares a lot about the female gaze.
Is all that they want. And now, with independent, strong women coming into the play, the flags are just getting bigger
God.
and bigger and bigger, which means that the pole needs to be stronger to sustain that amount of feminine energy that's going to come his way.
How much feminine energy have you guys actually seen throughout this video? I've seen a lot of masculine energy telling me what you ain't gonna do, what you want me to do. It's a lot of dominating, which is very masculine. I haven't seen a whole lot of feminine energy, quote unquote. Anybody seen any feminine energy yet? I haven't.
You see, a woman needs these traits in a man so that she is reassured time and time again that she is safe in his hands, that she is better than okay. She good. Because if not, that whole pole flag situation is going to crumble. Because he doesn't have the amount of strength it's going to take to make sure she flies high.
You notice how it's like everything is on you as a dude? Like, if you aren't doing this, then she can't do that. Notice how everything's on you? Oh my... Jeez. Oh man, Dude, I was dying laughing. That was so funny. Gosh. Oh my land. Dude, I gotta thank her for giving me a good laugh, because that was so funny. Oh. Alright, I gotta focus back up. I was laughing so hard off of that. I wasn't ready for that. But you see, guys, any takers thus far? First video, any takers? Anybody ready to be an equal partner to a woman who's about to who's about to go through menopause? Anybody ready for that? Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, returning to the subject at hand, let's go to this video right here where people talk about their requirements in relationships where they live together. Oh, good. I can't wait to see Mr. Goofy here on the right get totally pushed around by his girlfriend who doesn't respect him at all and who's probably trying to get back with Pookie or with Tyrone because they left her. And she's now trying to control this beta guy, in my estimation. But let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this dude's some hidden, blooming alpha. Or out of the depths of everything that I would never expect. Let's see. Oh, gotta take it off mute. My bad.
We'd each come up with some rules of requirements for when we live together, and we're gonna share them with you guys. First rule, the toothpaste cap needs to be shut every night.
Look at this dude laughing like this is a joke. Let me tell you guys something. Women don't make rules for dudes they're afraid to lose. Or I'll repeat that in case you missed it. Women don't make rules for men they're afraid to lose because they know that those men can instantly leave whenever they want to and can find somebody else. So they're like, ooh, yeah, I can't put this rule and that rule and this rule on him because he'll just leave. They make rules for dudes they know don't have options and can't just bounce on them. Dudes that they don't actually like that much. No dudes who they know they can control. Just keep that in mind. Look at this guy. He laughing like this is a game. Bro, this isn't a game. She's disrespecting you on the internet.
After you brush your teeth.
Not that bad. Alright, my first requirement is, and she's doing it right now, is you have to use coasters. Look at this. Look at that.
Oh yeah, like you care about coasters and not the center cut. Okay, yeah, sure, bro. Yeah, I'm totally buying this. You can see it in my face and in my tone.
So right there.
Guilty. And my second requirement is that maple syrup or chocolate does not go in the fridge.
It goes in the fridge. This is something that when...
This is all the monkey business people pretend like they care about in a relationship. This is when the relationship bedroom is dead. This is the stuff you argue about when your marriage has a dead bed marriage. Or your relationship, you guys live in like two twin beds, and you guys haven't had sex in 2 years or 2 months. This is the type of stuff you talk about in your relationship when your relationship is on life support. Ready for somebody to pull the plug at any second. See, this is the type of equal partnership that people talk about. Does this sound good to anybody? Anybody willing to stop going monk mode? Anybody ready to stop being a biblical bachelor or a free agent or whatever and doing your own way, being a passport bro? Is anybody ready to stop doing any of those things for this? I didn't think so.
We're not just gonna debate.
We're gonna have to get 2 maple syrups.
Yeah. My second requirement is no microwavable foods.
That's my
Everything is
favorite.
cooked
That's not gonna
natural.
happen.
No, everything's cooked natural. We don't need microwavable foods.
He comes from a no microwave house, so I can't. I'm third and
Only wants to guess this dude was vegan too. This dude looked like he never touched a weight in his life.
last requirement is no 4 a.m. wake ups. This guy never sleeps.
No leaving lights on.
Is your last requirement?
Yeah. Or she leaves the AC on.
AC is.
We're not even in the apartment, and the AC is still on when we come back. She's like,
This dude sounds like an old Jewish grandfather. Like the guys I used to like listen to back in the day who would talk about like, don't touch the thermostat, Austin. Oh man, what is happening, bro? This is the type of crap that you're expected to put up with in a relationship, guys. This is the type of crap you're supposed to deal with in a relationship, man. Who wants to deal with this? Any takers? Nobody? Like, man, this is why we over here on this show, we don't participate in normal relationships anymore. You know why? What do we have to gain for this? What do we have to gain? I get to deal with somebody else's expectations that I know, oh, great. Wow, I didn't have enough for myself. I needed to add somebody else's on top of it. Oh, goody. That's fantastic. And on top of it all, like, see, I can guarantee you, and if I'm out of turn, any married dudes or divorced guys who listen to the show, please tell me I'm wrong. Please, if in fact I am mistaken. But when there becomes a phase in your marriage or in your relationship when you go from the investment stage, we know the man's putting in the work, the woman's putting in the work, like they're kind of playing their role for lack of a better term, and then all of a sudden, usually the woman, man can do this, but it's usually the woman who does this because men tend to like stability and routine. Women tend to get bored with that very quickly. All you need to do is look at the fact that women statistically get more bored with monogamous sex before men do. You can feel free to not believe me on what I just said, but it's true. You don't believe me? Go out and test it for yourself. Go ahead. Or ask the married guys in the chat. Type in this comment section, hey, any married guys on this channel, is he lying? I can guarantee you they will tell you, not because they love me, but because it's the truth, that's exactly what happens. And they start leveraging it, rationing it, using it as a reward, the same way you might use a treat on your dog. Oh, I know that doesn't sound nice, but that's what it is, guys. Look, if you want to be married, go ahead. That's your choice. But just realize you are not in a alpha situation in your marriage. You can't do it. Because then she's going to pull your card and then you're going to end up in court where everybody in there is not on your team and is there to extract from you like an oil rig does to a pool of oil underneath the surface of the earth. They will extract you till you're bone dry and then go find another one. Tell me I'm lying if I am. If I'm lying, I'm crying. See, my friends, the reason why we don't agree with partnerships is because women make partnership rules for dudes that they would never have given a chance in their prime. They would never have given that guy, the guy who had the big muscles, the nice car, the money, or just the dude she was attracted to. The guy who she always wanted, who maybe wasn't consistent, maybe had other women, maybe whatever. Could be anything under the sun. But that one guy, she's wanted him for years. Maybe they've gone through different women, he's gone through different women, she's gone through different guys. She's always thinking about that guy because of hypergamy, because of imprinting and whatever. Guys, it's only when she thinks she's settling for you that she thinks she doesn't want to be your equal. She wants to be dominated. Oh, women won't tell you that because the feminism has made it unpopular to say that. But this is the truth. And unfortunately, You have been taught the opposite. You've been taught that women want equal partnerships. They want nice guys. They want caring dudes. No, they want guys who are going to dominate them. And the one thing about that one woman's analogy that I think was actually somewhat correct was the waving part. That's what they look like with their expectations of you, what they want from you, what they think they're going to get from you. It's all going to wave and they don't know what the hell's going on half the time. They don't know what they want. They don't know who they are. They don't know anything about about anything really half the time. Not because they're stupid, but because their hormones are more fluctuating than ours are as men. But guys, you see, that to me, this is why we need to discuss relationships to an extent, is because we as men, we can't avoid them. We go through stages of dating fatigue. We might get tired of doing the sugar daddy thing. We might get tired of, participating in quote hookup culture, which is largely dying or dead in this country, in the world in general. We might get tired of doing that, and we might think that the grass is greener on the other side of the fence because we haven't stepped in that side of the fence yet. Let me tell you, it's not. It's a deception meant to drag you back, hoping that you'll take the bait. Don't take the bait. Do not take the bait because you're tired, because you're depressed, because you want it. No, don't do any of that. All you gotta do, my friends, if you want, just go and give it one try, and you'll see just how fickle, how unbelievably complicated it is when you're trying to run game, when you're trying to do the normie stuff again, how much of your sanity it takes from you, how much time it sucks from you. This, my friends, is why the marketplace being monetized helps some men and it hurts most. Because most men are not willing to accept that there's a transactional nature to every relationship. They don't want to accept that because it makes them feel bad. Well, I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm here to make you feel like you have a dose of reality, in the same way that your doctor's job is not to be a pill pusher for the big pharma companies, but instead to give you medicine that will cure your ailment. Not just be a paid pimp for the pharmaceutical and prescription drug industry, which in my opinion is largely what they've become. But we're not here to talk about doctors. Problem is, a lot of people, they don't want a dose of strong natural medicine. They want a dose of the sugar-coated medicine that tastes good but doesn't fully have all the active ingredients necessary. They don't want to suffer. They don't want to go through pain. They don't want to change. They don't want to embrace the realities that they actively were told did not exist by entertainment, by education systems, by religious leaders, by parental figures, etc. This is the problem. People need to question the world. They need to question why they believe certain things, why people told it to them, so then they can decide for themselves what they actually should believe and what they want to believe, because that, my friends, most people don't even get that far. So when you get into the relationship conversation, ask yourself, why do you even want to get married? Why do you want to go through this normal state of affairs? Why do you want to deal with these people who don't respect you, who don't like you, and they're just using you as a pocketbook with short hair, in my estimation? Why would you want to deal with that? Probably because you haven't had it explained to you that way. You don't know the answer. And there's no shame in that. It took me a couple years to truly process all the stuff that I'm talking to you about now. You think I just woke up this morning and suddenly believed all this stuff? Nah, man. I went through it too. I went through breakups, I went through toxic situations, I went through getting used, I went through all that stuff, getting lied to, cheated on, you name it. Oh yeah, I've been through it all. Guess what? Easy to get mad. Easy to get discouraged about life and about the whole system because you're like, oh, I'm not gonna get the fantasy I promised, so why should I even try? No, man.
Oh, hell no!
Don't have that mindset. Instead, have the mindset of, I'm not going to make this happen because I want it. I'm going to embrace what's the truth, and then I'm going to find the closest thing possible that I can find. I'm going to try to get 80% of what I want. In the same way that a lot of people will try to elect a politician and try to get 100% of what they voted for, they'll probably only get like 60%. In the same way that, my friends, we need to have goals that we can actually attain that are not built off of fantasy but are rooted in reality. To me, this is what all the biblical bachelor lifestyle is about. Asking hard questions and developing a worldview that works for you, that gets you to the place you want to be in your life. It's not going to be easy. In fact, it's going to be the hardest thing you've ever done. But does that mean you should stop doing it? Why? Time's gonna pass whether you put in the work or not, so you might as well put in the work as far as I'm concerned. And it's not gonna be easy, it's not gonna be enjoyable, and you're gonna get criticized and questioned by everybody, but that is not bad. That just gives you a chance to reiterate what you think is true, adapt if necessary, or stand resolute if the time arises. My friends, let me know what you think about the equal partnerships, this trap of the modern relationships that are totally ripped off of the LGBTQ community and are trying to be pushed down the throats of men to domesticate them and to basically neuter them in plain English. Let me know what you think. This is very controversial and a lot of men are going to get triggered by this. It's not my intent to get you mad, it's my intent to get you to think about your situation, to get you to think about what is actually happening in your life. So maybe you can ask if you actually want to be there and decide for yourself what you want. That's my hope. That's the goal of the show. To get you to realize where you're getting or could be getting exploited and what you can do about it. My friends, take care. I'm out. Peace.